But now it's the women's turn, running the women's mile, and the American record held by Mary Slaney, 4:20.5 seconds. And Duana Malente holds the MIllrose record set back in 1988. And in this field is Sarah Bowman, first major race as a professional for the former Tennessee star.
2009 NCAA indoor champion for Tennessee as she leaned out Sally Kipyego right at the tape to win that title in her senior year.
And there is Sally Kipyego, the 9-time collegiate champion for Texas Tech, had an incredible career, now moving forward with her professional life.
And Bowman kept her from that 10th title with that hairline victory in Texas A&M last year.
And there's a look at your field featuring Sally Kipyego and Sarah Bowman. There's Sarah Hall also here. Marina Munkin will be handling the pacemaking duties as you look at the rest of the field. 11 laps here on the Garden Track. The women's mile. And a fair start.
And as I mentioned earlier, Lewis, a lot of these younger athletes are used to running on 200-meter tracks indoors now. That really is the norm, and they just really have to understand where they're at in the race as to how to properly pace themselves in order to have a strong finish. As I mentioned, it used to be all 10-lap and 11-lap to the mile tracks back when there was lots of indoor meets here in the U.S. back in the 70s and 80s, but this is the MIllrose Games, and this is the biggest track that fits inside the garden.
Well, right now in the lead is Karen Shinkins, and she is in charge of the pacemaking duties. We'll take the ladies around at a prescribed pace. Shinkins, the Irish indoor record holder at 400 meters.
And it's tough for a 400-meter runner to really drop back to the pace that these ladies are trying to run for a mile. That's why she keeps looking back, and I have a feeling those milers know a little bit better what the pace should be.
Exactly. So it's Shinkins in the lead, followed by Sarah Bowman, Hannah England of Great Britain, Molly Lehman of the United States, and Sarah Hall of the United States.
Sarah Hall, the wife of Ryan Hall, the great American marathoner. When she was Sarah Bay, had a very good career at Stanford. And now that chase pack is starting to bunch up a little bit. Sally Kipyego in 5th. If you don't count the pacemaker, she's in 4th, just biding her time. She, of course, has great strength over a longer distance. So the slower this goes, the not as good a situation for Sally Kipyego. She really would prefer a faster pace.
Well, the field beginning to close the distance on Shinkins, who was out there just a bit too far to help them. Now them coming back together. As you see Bowman, England, Hall, followed by Kipyego in the green as the women's mile continues here in Madison Square Garden.
You know, Lewis, Sarah Bowman has always had sort of a longer stride than even is really for her body, and she needs to cut that down here on these tight turns because that's a big disadvantage to be tall here unless you really know how to drop down into these turns. Shinkins has been caught almost completely now. It should be a race, and Sarah Bowman has been really right there the entire time, sort of pacing the chase pack, and we're hearing that Hannah England is really very, very fit, the former Seminole star at Florida State, right there on Bowman's shoulder, just letting her do all the work.
And so the pacemaker Shinkins drops away and leaves the tempo to Sarah Bowman. She's had such a successful high school and collegiate career. Now the question is, how will Sarah Bowman, now in the lead, handle the life as a professional track and field athlete? Right now looking pretty good, followed by Hannah England, Sarah Hall, Sally Kipyego, Marina Munkin of Serbia, Frances Koons, and Molly Lehman of the United States.
Well, Lewis, everybody is in this race now. They went through at 2:17 for 800 meters, and that certainly is well within anybody's ability. Again, Sally Kipyego not having the kind of sprint finish that these middle distance runners traditionally have. And now Kipyego no longer a collegian. She is a professional athlete and representing Kenya. But Sarah Bowman has been out there doing all the work. That's not something that's unusual for her. But now that she's a professional, there might be times when she might want to sit back and let somebody else do the work. This is tough to win wire to wire.
Coming up on 3 laps to go, Sarah Bowman continues to hold the lead, followed by Hannah England. Sarah Hall has now moved up into 3rd. Sally Kipyego in the green jersey is in 4th. And to the right of your screen, you'll see Frances Koon. But again, there is Sarah Bowman in the blue, looking focused, as well as Hannah England right behind her. These ladies leading the women's mile here in the Garden.
Well, the athletes in third and fourth, Sarah Hall and Sally Kipyego, really needed to push the pace instead of staying in those third and fourth positions. When it comes to closing speed, they just don't have it like England and Bowman do. And now England's starting to make that move. If she's going to make the move, here it is. Very smart. She waited till the straightaway. Now it's a matter of, okay, I got a lot left. There goes Sarah Hall into second. Bowman is finished. Kipyego now moving up on Bowman to try to take third, but it is Hannah England, and we've been told she is really ready.
And so Hannah England takes the bell here in the Garden. Look at those long strides as she tries to negotiate the turn. Hannah England still holding on to the lead with the shorter Sarah Hall, now looking to try and make a move. Can Hannah England hold on with the long strides as Sarah Hall pulls up on the outside? Coming to the tape, Hall, England, and it's hard to tell. What a close finish there as Sarah Hall made that last surge to finish. And we'll have to wait for the videotape, and Hannah England has been declared the winner. Hannah England wins it. Sarah Hall finishes in second, and Sally Kipyego in third.
Well, they negative split that race in a big way. The leader, Sarah Bowman, went out in 2:17. They came back in less than 2:14, and that was very good foot speed for Sarah Hall. That's the best I've ever seen her without such a grueling pace, which she's usually much better at, but she made a fine move to get past Sarah Bowman. England was right in position the entire race, but I don't think that she expected Sarah Hall to be right up there and challenging her right to the finish. As you mentioned, England really unleashed the longer strides. She went with shorter strides early in the race. Very, very smart. Now look at this, how Sarah Hall is flat out, and she's given Hannah England everything she can handle. Sally Kipyego trying to hang on. Sarah Bowman completely out of it. Now watch this close by Sarah Hall. She makes up a lot of space in that last 50 meters, 40 meters. She just can't catch her. And England, watch how she swung wide and made Hall go even wider. That's very, very smart running by the European.
And so now we go down trackside to Elizabeth.
Hannah, congratulations. We saw you riding in the draft of Bowman. Was that your plan?
I didn't really have a plan because I didn't know how the race had went. And just coming off into the break, I was just in second, well, third of the pacemaker, and I thought this is a good position. It's less people to go around. Hopefully it would work out.
Tell us what happened on that last lap.
Oh, I was running scared, really running scared. I see it's tricky with the very short straights. I was like, I'm just going to try and run a little bit wide and just run as hard as I could and hope it was enough to hold people off.
Sarah, what were your thoughts on that last lap?
You know, I love this venue and I've really thrived here, and so I just wanted to really enjoy being here and the opportunity, and it was an honor to run with Hannah. She's one of the best, so it was a great day.
Okay, thank you both. Thank you.
Well, great running by Hannah England and Sarah Hall, providing some excitement in the women's mile. And the final results, Hannah England wins it in 4:31.48. Sarah Hall right there finishing in 4:31.50. And Sally Kipyego of Kenya finishes in third.